Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody who's joined me today. What's the basic idea of the repo that we have here? And thank you to everybody who showed up, honestly. Um, so, this is basically going to help you or serve as a blueprint for you to build any AI system. Now, when we are trying to build something as a student or even in enterprises, that's something I've come across in my experience is where do we start? Do we start building the base of the infrastructure first, then build on top of it, and then especially because I've worked with a startup, it somehow sort of falls on you as to you need to decide what you need to do first and what you do not. I think it's probably more structured in an MNC, so I wouldn't be speaking for people there because I could go wrong. But coming to the point of where you want to build everything on your own, you want to see the entire life cycle, you want to see how it goes. So that's somewhere where you feel like, oh, I do not have enough system design knowledge, or maybe this is out of my scope. So what I've tried to do is learn along the way while I'm building and try to give something out to the community to be able to help people build something the way I do. Now, there would be contributions open for everybody who thinks I over engineered something at an earlier level, or if I should do something later on, or if I should, like add or subtract something, then of course it's open for contributions. The more the developers, the more the contributions, the better we build something for the entire community. So, yes, what are we trying to do here? Let's say the business idea that we are going to take here is going to be clause. Clause meaning what? Not Claude. Clause. I don't know why I'm sort of drawn towards law ideas, but it's basically you are going to be able to upload your PDF, whatever law PDF it is, and the system would be able to risk analyze it if it's important, if there are any risks on the statement on the paper or not, and then tell you or respond to every question that you have. It will be using RAG, and under the hood it would be deep agents. So the agents would be written in LangGraph, and we would have an entire infrastructure. There would be a back end, there would be a front end. The front end would be using Vercel SDK. So that would help us because it's written in TypeScript, and there is a good channel to the backend. The backend will be written using Fast API, of course. Right now, we're following a monolith architecture. Now, if we have more developers, we want to scale more horizontally, then we can, of course, go to a microservices architecture, but we'll not overcomplicate or over engineer it right now. So that's what I'm going with. There are docs to actually give you, everything would be documented properly, or that is going to be my effort. So in this code walkthrough, you'll have every file explained, every design decision documented, why not just the what but the why especially. Otherwise we'd be just coding out too many lines, and it wouldn't even matter. Like right now we don't even code, right? As you can see, I have the Copilot up. So all of these readmes are mostly generated using the AI. But the code is where, like I monitor and I take the decisions. Even with the README, I give it what all it should have and all of it. I mean, I think that's what everybody of us we are doing in the field of AI, right? So, what I'm trying to build and what is my approach, which is of course open to judgments. And if you have any suggestions, you can drop that below in the comment section or raise an issue in Git, and we can look into that. Right. So, what I'm trying to build is my approach was first we build the skeleton of the infrastructure, as to we build the Dockers for every dependency of database and all of it, whatever that is coming to my mind when I think about the version 0.1 architecture. So that, and then build the base of the back end, then build the base of the front end. Start using like smaller pieces like ingestion into the vector database, and then dragging from the vector database and all of that, right? So do those small tiny bits and pieces of the back end and the front end, and then try to put them all together, be able to I've actually done a makefile. This makefile has a lot of commands right now, about 2025. So makefile, what I want to do is that there should be just make commands for you to be able to up all of these. That would be pretty convenient, right? Then you do not have to go through the effort of trying to go into each like go into this backend folder and then run several things, and then I'll just try to minimize that from a developer perspective. So I've just added some licenses, readmes, and a little bit of architecture, what I'm planning to do ahead, what not, and all of that. So right now the LLM model that we'll be using, since this is to make it available to the broader public, an Olama model. Of course, the more reliable production grade model would be OpenAI, but it depends on if you have the API, use it. If you want to use Olama, then use it. But here we'll be showing it using Olama. So right now, what Dockers do I have up? I have the Postgres, which would be saving all of the workflows. VV8 as the vector database, and Redis for queuing in real time, and a Minio for storage. I use this specifically because it doesn't have any AWS dependency. Of course, open to suggestions. Olama, and optional has been for GPU. Anybody wants to use GPU, they can. Volumes are for persistent storage. Now, if we want to go into details about why particular Dockers, why particular trade-offs, now I'm going to put it all into the documentation because it's difficult to cover in a video and it will become too long. But if anybody ever wants to know, they can let me know personally, or like I said, in the comment section, or drop an issue, and I'll get to it whenever I can. I'll put in my best foot forward. So then I've just put up the config files, which has everything there, and we're not just doing the .env, because os.get.env is very manual and it's very error prone. There are more reasons and there are trade-offs which I'd be putting in the documentation, so you can go there and check. Then we are using like the embeddings are also sentence transformers, so everything is basically open source, so everybody can use it. And then it's of course open for people if they want to use something else. Now these are just placeholders, abstract classes, abstract methods. So yeah, I think that's all. What we're trying to achieve here is, I want to be able to give a blueprint to anybody wanting to create an AI system. In version 0.1, we'll have what a basic 100 user capacity or 100 user production grade system would look like. Eventually, we go to 1,000 users, 10,000 users. We keep adding all of that credibility to the system. And there would be examples. It's open to contributors to contribute to the system architecture, to the system design, to the trade-offs, whatever decisions are being taken, and also open to experimentation for new examples. Since I said the first example is going to be clause.ai, which would be your clause reader, and you can always try on more things and then figure out what works, what doesn't. And the better we work on this, the better we get to a solution, and the sooner we do it, and this becomes our beta product, and then it's going to be all of our babies and not just mine. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great time coding.